So, Spotify Premium just had a significant price hike globally, and so we thought, maybe it's time to revisit a comparison across the three most popular music streaming services available. With all the prices constantly increasing, and not to mention the 12% value-added tax in the Philippines, which one is worth spending your cash on? Let's have a quick rundown of the pros and cons in this 2025 three-way comparison between Apple Music, Spotify Premium, and YouTube Music. I'm your host CJ. Let's roll that intro. Before anything else, let's take a look at the plans and pricing from all three services. As you can see, only Apple Music has not increased their prices just yet, at least as of making this video. The last price hike was way back in 2022, adjusting the individual and family price plans to 139 and 219 pesos per month respectively. Notably, Apple Music is now the cheapest of the three. Meanwhile, Spotify Premium just had its latest price hike just 2 weeks ago or so. Its individual price is now 169 pesos per month, and its family plan goes for 279 pesos per month. Now, YouTube Music, or should I say YouTube Premium, is the most expensive out of the bunch, and there's a reason behind it. It has a starting price of 189 pesos per month for individual plan, and the price goes up to 379 per month for family plan. But hey, if you just want YouTube Music alone without the YouTube Premium thing for some reason, then you also have the option to subscribe to Music Premium. It's a lot cheaper than YouTube Premium, starting at 149 pesos a month for individual and 239 pesos a month for the family plan. And with that out of the way, let's start with Apple Music. Probably the best features that Apple Music has to offer that other streaming services don't have are two things: lossless audio and Dolby Atmos. These essentially provide better audio fidelity, like you can hear much more detail from the songs you listen to. But of course, to maximize such features, you may need to pair it with a device or headphones with high-quality audio. Best of all, lossless audio and Dolby Atmos are included to any Apple Music subscription at no additional cost. So that's a really neat advantage, I would say. Apart from better sound quality, the UI looks better overall in my opinion on iOS at least. The animated album art from certain tracks looks sick, and the lyrics have far more aesthetic into it. You can appreciate the lyrics that get highlighted word by word and per syllable. Speaking of the lyrics, Apple Music also has this karaoke feature that a lot of my Filipino homies out there might be into. This feature lets you remove the vocals from a song. It doesn't remove the vocals entirely, but it's quite enough to be in karaoke style. There's even a slider to adjust the amount of vocals you hear. Now then, let's talk about the cons. As a service provided by Apple, as expected, the app tends to work better with Apple devices. Features like the karaoke and some sleek animations seem to be missing on the Android version. The song recommendations could make some improvements. Let's say I play a song from a certain artist. The autoplay queue will just show similar songs and doesn't seem to add songs from the same artist, and that kinda annoys me. The last major disadvantage from Apple Music isn't something significant for most of you, but for JM, the writer for this video, this one matters more to him personally, so I'm gonna say it anyway. Apple Music Replay isn't as good as Spotify Wrapped. While you can appreciate the more granular breakdown of your listening habits on a weekly or monthly basis through Replay, it's something that Spotify does better and kinda worse at the same time. That's what we're gonna talk about next. Spotify Wrapped is actually one of the pros that you'd get from Spotify Premium. It's honestly what's keeping JM from switching anytime soon. There's a lot of hype around it, and it has been one of the most anticipated year-end events when it comes to pop culture, at least for those chronically online peeps. Ha, I see you. Spotify does its Wrapped better probably because it's a marketing success. That's it. Lots of people share their Wrapped, tons of engagement come in, and it's basically stonks for Spotify. Where it does worse is, it's not as data-driven as Apple Music. Spotify Wrapped covers the entire year instead of the monthly and weekly recap, so there's a little less insight to get from it. But enough of that. Let's move on to the other pros. Spotify is a lot better in terms of quality of life features. The autoplay feature actually plays songs from the same artists, and there's even a smart shuffle for your playlists that adds a few songs that might suit your taste. Its algorithm from recommendations is just far better. Spotify also has this AI DJ feature, so if you're feeling quite lazy finding what songs to play, Just hit that Spotify DJ and it works like a charm. Of course, there's Spotify Connect, which lets you remotely control your music playback from different devices as long as Spotify is installed and they're connected to the internet. This also means Spotify works flawlessly with every platform. Whether you're using iOS, Android PC, or Mac, you get the same sweet Spotify experience. This also leads to a better network since Spotify technically has more users globally. Therefore, it's more convenient for users to share their very own playlists to each other or publicly. The very first con for Spotify is the lack of higher audio quality streaming. There's no lossless audio available nor Dolby Atmos. They were rumored to add a new Music Pro plan for such high quality audio, but that's still just a rumor, at least for now. That said, it's potentially another disadvantage for Spotify since it'll surely have an additional cost. Another con I can think of is the UI design. It's still a bit clustered until now ever since they added podcasts into the mix. It's a bit better recently, especially with the simple tab categorization, but it doesn't have that polish as compared to Apple Music. But that's about it when it comes to Spotify's disadvantages. Lastly, we have YouTube Premium, and on paper, it's indeed the most expensive. That's because YouTube Music, without the ads, is a nice inclusion with YouTube Premium. In other words, you're getting 2 premium services in just one subscription. No ads on your YouTube playback, and you have access to ad-free music streaming at the same time. That's essentially the main selling point of YouTube Premium. With that, you can also see your liked content from YouTube sync to your YT music library, as long as they're music-related. This also means that official music videos, YouTube playlists, even those lo-fi videos, Wish 107.5 performances, song covers, you name it, they're all accessible within YouTube Music. Interestingly, YouTube Music also lets users comment on each song or content whenever possible. This certainly adds some level of engagement across different users globally, just like what YouTube itself is intended for. The platform does have a slightly better algorithm because of that cross-platform integration. But at the same time, or in JM's words, it suggests or autoplays content that's most likely not my cup of tea. That's one of the disadvantages actually, so let's talk about that. Since YouTube Music has different sources of content thanks to YouTube, I noticed that my recommendations could easily get cluttered with content that I like less, including those I'm unfamiliar with. There's this toggle to categorize your autoplay suggestions, but it doesn't really work all the time. Not to mention, music videos usually show up in the autoplay tab, making the listening experience a little less favorable. So unless you actively organize and select the songs you play, YouTube Music should still do a decent job of recommending songs for you. But this is all JM's experience with YouTube Music. As for me, CJ the host, I thoroughly enjoy autoplay for the most part. I guess it depends on what content you view or listen to for the algorithm to feed you things to check out. But that's just because I've been using YouTube Music as my go-to audio streaming app. So that's just my take. Anyway, another con I can think of is, subjectively, a worse UI design. It's serviceable by all means, but for the most part, it lacks that flair, that aesthetic Apple Music and Spotify have. Like, it's trying to be as familiar as possible, adopting similar design cues from YouTube itself, which I appreciate. But this is a separate app entirely. It needs something to stand out, maybe some more polish here and there. Perhaps another major disadvantage is, still, the lack of higher quality sound. No lossless audio, no Dolby Atmos, none of that. Alright, here's the bottom line. If sound quality is your top priority and you're already deep into the Apple ecosystem, Apple Music is an easy pick. You get lossless audio, Dolby Atmos, sleek UI design, and that karaoke feature is something that's gonna be useful in the long run. Plus, it's still the cheapest, at least for now. But if you're more into smart recommendations, playlist curation, and you live for that year-end hype of Spotify Wrapped, don't lie, we all post about it, then Spotify Premium might be worth the few extra pesos. It works smoothly on all platforms and offers all the nifty quality of life features that the other two services lack. Now, if you're the type who's on YouTube 24/7, watching music videos, tuning into lo-fi beats, or some nice song covers out there, YouTube Premium might actually make the most sense. You're not just paying for music, You're paying for a full ad-free YouTube experience. It's a bit more expensive, sure, but it's essentially a 2-for-1 deal, making it a little more practical than the rest. So what do you think of this comparison? Are you using any of these music streaming services? Which one do you use? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you find this video helpful or informative, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on any of our future uploads. Follow us on the socials, that's Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, and check out youtubetech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been CJ, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! See you later! We're technically watching this on YouTube, so I mean...